Another game chalked off, but massive 3 points.
Yeah, massive. Because obviously the situation, you try and dampen it down as a manager. Try and take as much pressure off the players as you can going into games like that, just to give them the best opportunity to perform. And we kind of said that it was a game that probably neither team could afford to lose, but I felt that a loss would have been a lot more damaging to them than obviously to us. And to be fair, I have to give them credit because we've played them twice. I think they're a good side. I watched them on Tuesday night against Brackley. I thought they were really good. They got done with 2 set plays, and I've seen them quite a lot. They're a good side. The way that they move the ball, they make it very difficult for you. And probably them losing Danny Waldron is probably going to be massive for them. But I just said to their manager then, they've just got to stick at it. Because did we deserve to win the game today? Probably not, if we're being completely honest. But that's irrelevant because we have won it, and at this stage of the season, it's just about finding ways to get results. And I've then equally got to give credit to my players because I think it's fair to say we have been performing better than that recently. Probably a little bit of pressure, maybe a few nerves. Going behind so early is always tough because you're naturally a little bit deflated from going behind in such a big game. I think they manipulated the referee and the clock incredibly well in that first half, slowing the game down. Any little opportunity to break the game up and kill any momentum and tempo, I thought they did that incredibly well. And then just out of nowhere we managed to get a goal, and that changed half time, and it changed probably half time for them as well. And second half, I felt we were better, certainly better than we were in the first. The game started to open up. We had a few moments where we looked like we could hurt them, and obviously then Dylan's been aggressive in a 1v1 on the side of the pitch, which I want to see more of from him. But he showed great quality and composure to just put it across the box, and there's Johnny to score, and that's exactly why we brought him here, because he scores. He's got ice in his veins in front of goal, and 2 massive goals, and obviously a big 3 points for us.
And he makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
Well, the best goal scorers do. They do. How many people there rush a blood to the head, smash it over the bar, or don't connect properly? He's just passed it in the goal with pace and quality. And but I thought Johnny in the second half especially, I thought his all-round play was outstanding. The game started to open up. He made clever runs, got hold of the ball, linked it up, brought some of the others into play, and obviously his 2 goals just topped off a good performance by him.
As you say, the overall performance, you've played better, but that's exactly it, isn't it? Digging results out in games like this.
Yeah, and to be fair, like I keep saying to the players, we are what we are, and we should be proud of it, because I think being organised and defending well as a team, and having that spirit and that grittiness, I think it's something that's dying out of the game, because everybody's become obsessed with playing like City. But the game ultimately is about winning, and it's about points. And you probably look at the South Shields game here today, Live away, Brackley away, and we've won all those games, but we've probably had 45, maybe 40% possession, but we've got 12 points from it, and that's all that really matters. We can and we will get better over time in possession of the ball, and we are good at times in possession of the ball, but first and foremost, to get results in this league, you have to be defensively organised, and you only have to look at the team that's going to win the league. Tamworth, I think they had 9 clean sheets on the bounce at one stage, and any team that generally is up near the top end of leagues, they defend well, they keep clean sheets, they concede 1 at most, and they're not shipping 2 and 3 all the time, because it's hard to win games of football if you're conceding that many goals. And the lads they've worked hard in training, they've got a good spirit in the group now, and you can see that by the way that they're putting the bodies on the line for one another. And I think for the amount of maybe extra ball that they had today, Jonah's had, maybe 3-4 saves to make from 20-25 yards, all routine stuff for him. And probably the nearest they came to scoring a second goal was the one that hit the bar at the end, which I know it's hit the bar, but it never looked like it was going in. So, we've protected Jonah very well today, restricted them to efforts from distance, and we've obviously been incredibly ruthless with our clear chances.
I mean, Johnny was involved in more ways than one. I mean, there was a penalty which was waved away. He went in with a challenge, and we did wonder for a while how that was going to go. But then to answer it in the way he did,
well, he just keeps going, and I think he sensed in that game, second half, as it's opening up, you could just see he sensed that he was going to get another chance. And if he gets a chance, he generally takes it, as we've seen in the short space of time that he's been with us. It's a penalty the first half for me. Why would he go down? And the lad's certainly not clearly took the ball. The challenge here, I think, it's just an honest attempt to go and win the ball. I think naturally when you're going up for headers, you need your arms as leverage. I think it looked probably worse and more aggressive than it was. Yellow card for probably one of the ones that he did get right, but yeah.
Moving on, obviously Bishop Stortford on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I believe they're down. I think we've heard, so which might not be a good thing, because obviously the pressure's off them totally now. But the last 2 wins have been against teams around about you, and they're the big ones.
Yeah, but I think generally our form and results against teams in and around us has been pretty good. Probably with the exception of the Darlington game, which is. We certainly didn't deserve to lose that game. We just got sucker punched. That was right at the start of, I think it was our second game in January after the New Year's Day game. But since then, our form outside of that one game against Curzon has been very good. And we've just got to keep that going now. Winning and not losing games of football, it's got to become the norm for us. As it has in the last 8. I think that's what, unbeaten now in 8. One defeat in. Still 1 defeat in 10, 1 defeat in 11, and the lads have just got to keep, the times when you're not quite at your best, if you can still find ways to win games, it's a good sign, because we certainly can play better, and we're aware of that. But in games like today, it's, they've played well and lost, and we've not been great and we've won, and that's all that matters to us. Tuesday night, it's going to be a tough game like they all are. I think it's fair to say that their position in the league's probably looked quite bleak now for a number of weeks, but it's still going to be a tough game, because players go onto any pitch with self-pride and they'll want to put in a performance themselves. So we've just got to be better than we were today, but go now and be hungry to try and get another good result.
It's the wins on the bounce that have made a massive difference, though, isn't it?
Well, they do. I think any position that you're in the league, if you can go and win, 2-3 games in a row, it makes a massive difference, because everybody is pretty much beating everybody, and you can never predict the results in this division, and that's why you've just got to look after yourselves. Because if you start looking at too much of what other teams are doing, and you think, well, if they'll lose there and they'll win here, it goes the complete opposite, and if you don't look after your own performances and results, then you're in big trouble. And I think that's what we've done incredibly well the last few months. We've just kept focused on ourselves and the things that we can control. I think the performance levels in the main have been very consistent. When we've not been great, we've been organised, and that's enabled us to get results. And I think, is that five wins now in our last 7 games, which is excellent, and the players should be. They deserve a lot of credit for that, but from my side, we've still got 8 games to go. It's 24 points still to play for, and we've got to compete to try and get as many of them as we can.
How close are you to the points target you set the players, would you say now?
Close. Close.
Very close, or?
No, well, yeah, we are. We're a lot closer than we were when we set it. I think because of the form of 1 or 2 other teams around us, we've had to extend that total a little bit. But we're still close to that, and we've just got to we've just got to keep putting points on the board. And when we get to it, I'll let you know.
Okay. What's it been like having? I know you didn't work with him before, but having Ross Bowers back at the club, because we all know about his ability, but he's a character as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and to be fair, I've been nothing but impressed with him as a lad. Obviously, you speak to the lads who know him from his previous spell here, speak to the chairman and just other people generally around the club. You see how popular he is with supporters. But working with him day to day, he's just a good, honest lad. Got a bit of character, always got a smile on his face in and around the training ground, and I think we've seen today that he's fully committed to the club, and that's why it was a no-brainer for us bringing him here, because I think Cian's been performing a hell of a lot better in the last couple of months, playing with more confidence, playing with probably more understanding of what I want from a player in that role. But it was so important with him obviously going away with Gibraltar that we brought somebody in who had a bit of experience, had qualities, and that was going to be committed to our current situation, and Ross just ticked all them boxes. And as I said, I've been nothing but impressed with him since he came in. I think probably he'll be better for having another 90 minutes in him there, because he's not played too much football recently at Scunthorpe. But he seems to be enjoying himself, and if he can keep performing like that, then that's good.
You spoke about Tamworth. Obviously, after Bishop Stortford, you've got them here next Saturday. When you look at what you're trying to build here, do you sort of look at Tamworth as the example then of what you want here?
Look, I think Tamworth they're very effective at the way that they play. They play to the strengths, they maximise them, and they're going to go up again as champions, and every credit to them, because as I said earlier, I think that being organised, being hard to beat, being gritty, I think it's a bit of a dying art. People have just become obsessed with rolling it out in your 6-yard box and overplaying in areas you don't necessarily, where it's higher risk if you lose the ball. And if it works, it looks great, but if it doesn't, you can get hurt. And Tamworth are very effective at the way that they play, but they also play good football when they get it into the right areas of the pitch. And obviously they're a threat with a long throw, they're very good from set plays, and they don't concede many goals. So I think any team that's going to go out of this league as champions, I think you can learn a lot from any, and it's obviously going to be a tough game. If we can go and get a good result on Tuesday, we still won't quite have got to the target that we feel we need to get to, but I think it's a game we can go into and enjoy a little bit more with a little bit less pressure on us.
Does it give it a little bit of extra edge having the TV cameras here for you?
Well, for me personally, not me, no. But I think for the club, it's brilliant exposure. I think for the players to be on TV, it's a great opportunity for them, and they'll naturally want to perform well, because the mates who don't come to the game will probably be watching, and they won't want to be getting messages off and saying they were poor. So it's an opportunity for us to hopefully we can get a good result on Tuesday night. That's our focus right now. We've not even thought about the Tamworth game yet, because we've got a massive game Tuesday, and if we can go and get a good result in that, then it puts us in an even better position, and we can then get ready for that game and try and enjoy it whilst getting a good result.
Done me up like a kipper. There's no questions left. Except what? Ben Stevens? Is he?
No, he just rolled his ankle yesterday in training. He's been struggling a little bit with his ankle for quite a few weeks, to be fair. He's just been cracking on with it, and he just went in to block a shot yesterday in training, and just a bit too soon for him to be involved today. So I probably could have put him on the bench, but if you then need a goal and Ben Stevens is on the bench and you're not putting him on, then you get pelters as the manager, because Ben Stevens on, and if he was on there and you have the temptation to put him on and then he makes it worse, then he's probably missing for another couple of games. So we just used a bit of common sense, didn't involve him, and see how he's Monday.
Okay. So is it fair to say he'd be available for Stortford?
I'd say he's got a good chance of being involved on Tuesday, yeah.